911. Where's your emergency?
A mysterious 911 hang-up.
She stopped responding forever.
From an object of affection.
Today's Shy's day. We're at
It's not my day.
And obsession.
8 stitches, that was in defense of Cheyann?
Yeah.
Did Cheyann Klus just skip town and leave her friends and family in Chicago? Or is something more sinister at play? For months, Cheyann's aunt, Sylvia Munguia, has held on to one desperate hope that this is all just one bad dream.
I'm hoping that she will walk in the door someday and she'll say, I'm back.
Sylvia closes her eyes and still sees the life in her niece.
She's very beautiful.
Gorgeous.
A 22-year-old girl who turned heads every time she walked into a room.
Never seen anybody like her. Her face, it's iconic to me.
Iconic?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a strong word.
Yeah.
And Cheyann relished the attention.
Give me that look.
Wait, what?
But the young girl who felt life was an open door would suddenly find it slammed shut. As Cheyann watches her mother die from a slow and painful liver failure.
What was the conversation like with Cheyann during those times?
At that time, Cheyann was very reserved because she was hurt. I mean, she knew she was losing her mother, and she was very sad.
After her mom's death, Cheyann's Facebook posts, once a timeline of selfies and memes, become a catalog of unbelievable grief. A place where Cheyann pours out her heart to her departed mom. I'll love you forever, my reason for living.
She was depressed and she was going through a lot of, tough things with the death of her mom. Her dog passed away around the same time. And those two were her pride and joys and love.
But the pretty Cheyann found there were plenty of boys right there to catch her fall.
Be careful, Shy. Babe. The other guys, I just felt like they were just there for, their own possible gains and stuff like that.
Chad Chanapai says he and Cheyann were best friends, but he's stuck in the friend zone as boy after boy vies for the beautiful Cheyann's attention.
I tried to be close eye, watch over her, keep her safe. I did my best.
Safe, Chad says, from young men who would furiously try to catch Cheyann's eye.
You got the 8 stitches, that was in defense of Cheyann?
Yeah.
One of Cheyann's new friends is Brian Biddle.
From what I understood, the person that she was seeing on occasion was Brian.
Brian Biddle isn't exactly in Cheyann's league in the looks department. And at the age of 38, Brian is almost 2 decades older than 22-year-old Cheyann. Chad doesn't like him on sight.
I don't trust a lot of other guys, so I kept a close eye on him.
But Brian Biddle loves to party, and that's just the distraction the grieving Cheyann craves.
Everybody has their, demons. That's why it always worried me that she was out in these places with these people and, partying and stuff like that. Who knows what could happen.
It's a week after Thanksgiving when something does happen.
When she left on the 27th, did she have a suitcase with her, a bag?
From what I understood, she took her laptop and maybe a few pieces of clothing, and that's about it.
Brian Biddle sends an Uber to pick Cheyann up. At Biddle's house, it's an all-day, all-night private party. Just Brian and Cheyann.
He said that she was being her normal self and that they were drinking and partying late into the night.
But a day and a half later, just after sunrise, Chad's phone blows up with a flurry of urgent text messages.
What did her text messages to you say on that day?
To me, she was saying, babe, can I get picked up?
But Cheyann's asking for more than just a ride. Were the messages a desperate call for help?
This was early in the morning and I was asleep.
Chad sees the messages just 20 minutes later, but it's 20 minutes too late.
So all of a sudden, within 20 minutes, radio silence of text messaging you?
Nothing. So I texted her, call her back, and she wasn't responding.
And Brian Biddle? He says he has no idea where Cheyann is.
He said he was sleeping for 18 hours. When he woke up, she was gone.
Sleeping for nearly an entire day?
Does that make sense to you?
No.
No phone calls, no Facebook posts. Sylvia says that's nothing like the Cheyann she knows.
I know she's been gone sometimes by her friends for, days, week at a time, maybe a week and a half, but never this long.
There's a lot of red flags.
Too many.
Then 12 days later, Cheyann reappears, but not in the way the family expects. And it only adds to their feelings of dread.
911, where's your emergency?
A phone call was made from her phone on December 11th to 911.
And that single mysterious phone call gives police more than they ever expected. Next, a remote cell tower's telltale ping.
Do you think she's alive?
And what does Brian Biddle know?
I know that nobody sleeps for 18 hours. I know he knows a lot more than he's saying. She continued to text Chad and say, Chad, please answer the phone. Why aren't you answering the phone? Please come and get me. And when he finally responded, she stopped responding forever.